Hello, all of you darling beans out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Howls of the Deathsinger World of Darkness Werewolf. And we are going to begin, as we always do, with introductions. Beginning with Kerr.
Hello everyone, I am Kerr. I am the resident storyteller here. I've been running these games for over 15 years now. And yeah, there's pretty much nothing in this world that I don't know about.
Maddie.
Hello, I am Foxfiend. I play Maddie, the daughter of a local mob leader, John Marcone.
I am Zim, and I am playing as Michael, the spy of the group. Mostly focused on infiltrating and gathering information. And also dipping into a bit of torture and scare, whatever you want. I mean, it's an emotional torture, so physical and emotional.
And I am playing Perry Freestone. I am Toshime. And I'm playing the good boy of the group. The spirit talker.
Deserves all the headpats.
With these cute little glasses.
Awoo.
Awoo.
All right, we're going to turn the recap over to recap and intro and such. By the way, this is Season 2, Episode 5, Paralogue Chapter 1. Probably the only paralogue chapter for right now, but and we're going to go in and turn it over to Kerr for the recap and intro for this paralogue chapter.
So for those of you who weren't here last time we got together, the group decided to go investigate some issues going on at a house. That there might be supernatural elements, ghost spirits or something going on. And so they went to check it out. In a manner of which I did not expect, at which something I planned for to take 15 minutes suddenly took the entire session. Not that I'm upset about that, I'm just surprised.
Phasmophobia.
I just did not expect that, it was all. So, shout out to you guys on that. But that was where we ended, was right when they were about to go and confront the big scary spirit that was haunting the place. And one of the reasons we haven't been having session is because our two DPSs haven't been here, and I don't want to pit our spy and our other character against something that I made to face Barney, the 9-foot tall snarling death beast. That felt like a bad idea. So here we are in a paralogue chapter. It's basically going to be a one-shot though. Things here could happen in the main story. I do consider this tale to be canon. I just wanted to make sure that was entirely clear. This isn't just like throwaway. Everything that happens here is considered to happen in universe. And any questions or anything before we get started? Hype. I'm glad one of us is hyped.
Things are breaking. One moment.
Oh no, things are breaking.
Oh, I've been having so many issues with my computer lately.
Oh no.
Okay, I think
I'm
we're
not
okay.
too familiar with the term paralogue. Kerr, what does paralogue mean?
Basically, it's a concurrent chapter.
Ah, okay.
Paralogue chapters are kind of like mini episodes. They
It's
are
the beach episode.
Yeah,
It's the beach
basically.
episode.
A magnanimous
Okay.
dispensation.
That's all I need to know.
Tokeme tipped
Just a side
$110.
story that happens at the same time. Oh, thank you, Toshime, for supporting the channel.
Toshime,
Happy
thank
fun
you
night.
so much for the tip and completing the donation or the tip goal in full. And yeah, it's basically, it's not necessarily the beach episode, but they are kind of filler episodes. Usually more lighthearted and just meant for fun. And usually don't have all of the players present.
Okay. Anyways, continuing on.
Just making sure nothing is broken on Zim's end.
Were you guys
So
hearing
things were
static
breaking.
on the audio coming through Discord?
There
Off
is a
again?
little crackling.
On my
Not as
voice?
bad as it used to be.
No, it's
Yeah.
basically almost not hearable. I almost missed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try doing this real quick. Okay. Probably not a big deal, but I can't do anything else about it right now. So, let's
Yeah,
get
clear.
into it.
Okay. Give me just a second. Also, forgive me, Chad, if this episode isn't like the best. I literally had about 5 hours to put this all together today. Alright. Maddie, Michael, Perry.
Yes.
You are about to open the door to investigate, to see what thing was haunting this home. What beast, foul, disgusting, corrupt. And you were ready to put it down. And Michael, Maddie, as you open that door and step through, you're in a very nice, rambunctious club. A club that you guys recognize. The Sixth Circle.
Oh, huh. Was that door supposed to lead here? I don't think that was supposed to lead here.
No, I don't think it was.
Oh, hello, darling. So delightful to see you. Come over, come over, come over. Please, please. I have a table for us.
Is that Domino?
It's Domino.
Hello, Domino. Good to see you.
Cody's
hello,
turning around to go back
darling.
through the door.
The door is not there anymore.
And Maddie follows Domino to the table.
Hello, Maddie, darling. It has been far too long. How are you doing, darling?
I am just doing fabulous. How about you?
Well, as perfect as always, of course.
Of course.
um,
I
Toshime,
assume, Domino, you're the reason why we're here.
of course, darling, of course. Why else wouldn't I invite you here?
Just couldn't keep away from my charm much longer, eh?
Well, darling, it's true. You are quite charming, and we do have to go on that shopping date together.
We do. That shopping and then the spa. Yes.
That sounds simply delightful, Oh, wait, one, two. Oh, wait, there's one missing. Perry, you're suddenly sitting in a chair in front of Domino.
Hi, Domino.
Hello, darling. How are you? Michael, come over, please. Come sit with us.
Looks like I'm already here.
He will go over and sit.
No, darlings. How have you been? How are you? It feels like it's been so long since our last conversation.
I know, I've been doing great, been keeping in good health.
This is good. This is good. You humans are, well, werewolves are so fragile.
Indeed. Michael, Perry, either of you want to speak about how you've been doing? Mm.
Well, been getting ready to ask you a question, Domino.
Oh, and what question is that, dear Perry?
Would it be possible to get a house elf for these people that were helping get rid of a spirit?
Oh. It is possible.
They do have a kid, and that might be something you'd want to look after.
Interesting. Interesting. I am perfectly intrigued. Do tell me more, darling.
Since we won't be able to watch over them after we leave, you may have the perfect solution to watch over them.
Well, darling, I am perfect in all things, after all. Even if others do not understand my levels of perfection. So
What do you think,
say,
Maddie?
What was that?
What do you think, Maddie?
I think having something to watch over this family that we're helping after we're gone would be an excellent idea, because you never know, something something else might come along in the power void that we may leave behind.
What emotions does that make you feel? Fair folk live off emotions. The drama, the excitement.
I feel excited that we're getting to help someone, and I'm ecstatic that we may be able to, with Domino's help, and be able to provide some extended help.
I am willing to make a contract with you all for this, to give this family protection. And it will only cost you a very small thing. A trifle, really, honestly. Honestly, I'm giving such a fair deal. Absolutely perfect. Get it now, or I'll watch it just fade away.
So what do you have in mind, Domino?
I want you all of you, including the two who are not present at the moment, to go on the most perfect shopping spree and date with me.
Hmm.
It shall
I'll,
be fabulous.
I will be looking forward to that then.
Pass.
All of you have to agree, or there will be no deal.
Come on, Michael,
Quite
it'll be
simple.
fun.
Michael, you will have a delightful time with me. We can go to, whatever you would like. You mortals are ever so interesting, after all, with all the knickknacks and doodads that you do create.
Doesn't the shopping spree sound fun, Michael?
No, no, it does not.
Oh, come on, we could find you another suit to add to your collection.
Fine.
Yes. Anyways, Domino, I suppose you probably called us here for more than just to talk about the shopping trip.
Do I need any other reason to call you darlings?
Of course not.
Well, it just so happens that tonight is the one day every 3 or so months when many of the leaders of the different factions show up to discuss business or make deals under the table, darling. I thought, well, you thought are becoming very, very important here in Empty Spring. And it could behoove you, not actually having us, of course, but interest you to meet some of the movers and shakers here in Empty Springs. Maybe get to know them, find out about them.
Sounds like an excellent opportunity to make some friends in high places.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Michael, what do you think of all this?
Well, I see that I really don't have much of a choice, so might as well.
Well, you always have a choice, Michael.
Let's go ahead.
Let's see then. Dama seems to consider that as he pulls out a very large list. Let's see. There's so many movers here in Empty Springs. It's sort of a conglomeration due to different things that have happened over the last decade or two. Hmm. He seems to consider that for a moment.
With
There
this,
are. Oh, go ahead.
with this current timeline, we wouldn't have met a lot of people.
Let's see. Now, I have a question first and foremost for all of you. What kind of creature might you wish to meet first? And I can give you some of the more interesting ones if you wish. If you didn't have one off the top of your head.
I'm sorry, I have no idea who Micah would want to meet right now.
Mostly this would be like, hey, I want to meet a vampire, or I want to meet a changeling, or spirit, that type of thing.
I don't
Basically,
know.
generic species here. If there was one that you wanted to meet. Otherwise, I can just start going off my list.
Probably better go off the list.
Yeah, have none coming to mind immediately.
You sure? You don't want to meet a mummy?
I mean,
You know-
there are so many options out in the world, and couldn't decide.
Let's see. Then, how about we start with you know them, you love them. I don't know why so many people are obsessed with them. How about a good old fashioned vampire?
A vampire, you say? All right. Anything we ought to know about this vampire before we go and meet him?
Let's see. He is ostensibly one of. He's not the true prince of this city, which is what the vampires will call their leader. But he is the power behind the throne, if that makes sense. The true leader here.
Not the figurehead, but the one pulling the strings, is what you're saying.
Oh, yes, he is quite. Honestly, we have tea every century or so.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Indeed, I always like finding out what new tricks and things he's been up to over the centuries.
What is his favorite tea?
Well, he has a very special blood tea recipe that he can drink.
Okay.
Let's see. And he stabs his fingers, and you guys are gone. You guys are in one of the private rooms of the club that's up on the second floor. It looks like a simple meeting room.
And Domino didn't even give us a name.
No.
Oh, we'll find his name soon enough. Whether it's Galantine or...
Yeah, no, Domino is like one of those people who will just,
do things.
just yeet you into a situation and go deal with it. And once you are there, everything is quiet before the door opens. And he looks to be a man, and that's using the term loosely, more like a teenager. Maybe around 19, 20 years old, perpetually knowing that it's a vampire.
Duke.
He's wearing a simple white sweatshirt and matching silk pants. Very, very nice. The hoodie that he's wearing, though, is very, very poofy, with a hood and pockets on the front of it. And his skin is ivory white. Like he hasn't seen a day of the sun in years. And his hair is pretty short, brown, just pretty common, pretty normal. Like if you saw this person on the street at night, you wouldn't think second of him. And as he opens the door and just steps in for a second, he just stops and looks at all of you before taking a slow, deep breath.
Michael's just throwing up his hands immediately. This was not our idea. We were thrown here by a fair folk.
Domino?
Yes.
Indeed.
I thought so. He does that.
Give a light bow. Hello, sir.
He pauses and looks at you. Like, he just kind of stops and looks at you. And this is like, look with a capital L look. Well, I can't say that that sort of decorum is common nowadays, as he gives a deep bow to you, Maddie. So, did Domino tell you what he sent you up here for as he shuts the door and walks over to take a seat?
I mean, you know Domino. So, what do you think?
Likely something to do with meetings. And causing as much drama and insanity as he possibly can.
That is Domino's flavor, isn't it?
I've known him for centuries. He doesn't change that much, even with a soul.
Yeah. Not even giving us a name to know you by.
My apologies, however, to me. I am Sir Edgar Lorwyn. You can just call me Ed for short. I don't really stand too high on full names.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Ed. Name's Maddie Marcone.
I know your father.
A lot of people do.
He's looking at you very, very intrigued, Maddie.
Yes, I'm sorry, do I have something on my face?
No. My apologies for staring. I'm just interested in you. It's not often mortals are as intriguing as you are.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, especially with your father being a mover and shaker in town.
He totally doesn't have like 15 different plans going in his head right now. It's just gone up to about 30. Sorry, I take that back. 40 at least. And who are you two?
I am Michael. I don't remember what last name I gave him. Ah, yes. I am Michael Wolf.
And I am Perry, basically the bodyguard.
Interesting.
Michael just looks over at Perry with a quizzical glance.
Yes, I protect the bodies.
It's
Don't forget, we are on neutral ground here.
of course.
I'm not planning to attack him.
Anyways, so Ed, how is your evening going so far?
He lets out a very long sigh.
Oh, that bad, eh?
You know how people get more stubborn as they age?
Yeah, I am aware.
Imagine people having that centuries old.
Oh no, you're dealing with people entrenched in tradition, aren't you?
I know a couple who don't even use cell phones or telephones, who send things by courier or messenger pigeon.
Messenger pigeon is still an option?
If you're rich enough, apparently, yes.
I suppose, but if you're rich enough, just about anything's an option. Jeez.
And if you're old enough, you don't want old enemies figuring out through new technology.
It is frustrating to deal with such difficult people. You get the distinct sense of what he wants to say is, I want to fucking kill these people. They're fucking idiots. Why the hell are they still using messenger pigeons? Pigeons. Those poor pigeons, they didn't ask for this.
Yeah, though in my personal experience, those who don't adapt to the times do tend to be left behind, as the balance of power does tend to shift ever more and more into the speed of communication. So
To
who
be fair,
knows?
being able to bench press a bus does help to balance that out a little bit.
And out of character, what I so want to say is, you can't blood bond a note. You can blood bond a pigeon.
Mm. Hmm.
But yes, I am one of the Ventru. We are the royalty among the vampires.
All right.
He smiles. I've heard a little bit about all of you from Alaric. So I know you can be trusted with information and to make sure it doesn't get out. AKA, if you share any of this with anyone, you're probably not going to live through the night.
Of course. Lips are sealed. Locks. Keys in the trash.
He gives a small chuckle. But yes, if any of you are ever intrigued about becoming a vampire, feel free just to ask. As he looks at you, Maddie.
I don't believe that you can make us vampires, as we are already werewolves.
He cocks an eyebrow. Werewolves, you say? Alaric never mentioned that. He just said that you are very good at getting things done.
Yep. That we are. We are good at getting things done.
You're spilling your own secrets.
Yes. Tell me, is there anything you would wish to ask me? Anything that you might want or to learn about? I am more than willing to assist you. I find it's always nice to have friends, isn't it? Jits, why do you say that?
I just have no idea what to ask.
Same. I'm in the same boat.
This was
What
kind
would
of
your character? What would your character want to know about vampires? What would you want to know about vampires?
I'm just drawing a complete blank.
You say you're part of the royal family of vampires. How many families of vampires are in the area?
All of us.
Main bloodlines.
Let's see. Well, there are the 13 of us. We're the main ones who hang out here in Empty Springs, who fight back and forth between each other. Banu Hakim, the Bruja, the Gangrel, the Hekata, the Sumra, Malkavian, the Ministry, the Nosferatu, the Ravnos, though they are more reduced down to hardly just a couple. I wouldn't even call them a full clan anymore. Though technically, by right, they do
Retain?
retain the status. Clan Toreador, Tremere. He pauses and looks very disgusted. Samisi. And of course, Clan Ventru. All of us have members here in Empty Springs. All of us have things going on beneath the surface.
You need to step away for a minute or so. I'll still be listening and chime in as I can.
Okay. But we in the Venture are, of course, on the top of the pyramid, so to speak. We are the most noble of the vampire clans, and obviously the true rulers of society.
Of course.
Tell me, Maddie, how would you like a little help in whatever you are attempting to do in your life?
I mean, having a little bit of help is when available is always good. Anything you have in mind?
He smiles. Well, Clan Ventru has many, many connections, so to speak. It would be, well, very simple for me to put out whatever you might need and to help you get it.
All right, and what would be the cost of such aid?
maybe assistance here or there. Perhaps you helping to make something happen for me that's within your power. That is, of course, no difficulty for you. Just put in a word here or there, or maybe just ask someone to do something for you.
Favor for a favor.
Indeed.
Also, you may get targeted by the anarchs or
Nonsense, nonsense.
the Sabbat, to name a few.
I think you and I, Maddie, could go far helping each other. And I'm more than willing to assist someone who seems to know some of the old ways without being utterly beholden to them.
I mean, when you've been raised in a old family, you get to know some manners.
Oh, how true, how true. Yeah, I understand that. If you get them young, you can teach them.
That's right. I imagine you probably have a task you're needing help with soon then.
Not at the moment. Not immediately. But, well, things are always happening in the future. And I like to have my options open. Especially for such a wonderful and apparently useful werewolf such as yourself.
Well, thank you. In which case, it would be my pleasure to count you among my friends and allies.
And he smiles and he reaches out and offers his hand to you to shake.
And I take it. And shake.
Well, I don't want to be taking up too much of your time right now. So
Of
I
course.
suppose, unless any of you have anything you wish to speak to me, I suppose I should let you get back to your business.
At the very least, make sure to exchange business cards. Contact information.
Of course, as he reaches into his pocket and pulls out one.
And likewise, I do the same.
And he will offer it to you. He will take yours and read it before nodding and starting off.
Alright. And what? Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my items. What was this character's name again?
You can just call him Ed.
Edgar Lorwyn.
Ed. The vampires. Contact card. Awesome.
And also note down Camarilla Leader.
Yes.
How do you spell that?
Camarilla.
Alright. Awesome. I have another contact. And with that, we part ways.
Yes, he will bow to you again before making his way out.
And I too give a polite bow.
I'm just sitting here with arms crossed. I know better than to offer a cigarette or anything like that to him.
now we have our next guest. Can someone roll me a d6, please?
A D6.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay, got it. All right.
Maddie, do you know why you don't offer a vampire cigarette?
I don't know offhand why you don't offer a vampire a cigarette.
Fire.
Fire.
Push.
Oh,
I don't
flammable.
like fire.
Right,
Fire is scary.
right. A cigarette in particular. Okay. Yeah, fire.
Push.
Yes, it's a primal fear for any vampires, fire. Unless they have protections. Which is
Here what you said that I was thinking, is it something to do with offering gifts of any sort, or no, it's fire. It has to do with fire. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would have made that deal, but I suppose perhaps they could be of value to us.
Just wait till we meet Lord Godorian again.
Being able to get things done is all about who you know and how you know them.
Soon the door opens again. And another figure makes his way into the room slowly. Unlike the vampire, this one has much more of an aura of oh fuck.
They don't want to be here.
I'm in danger.
Pass? Can we just pass on this one?
No, this is a lot of World of Darkness. You don't know which type of danger it is. You just know it's dangerous.
Hello.
This guy is much less dapper. He's wearing a shirt with the sleeves torn off. It looked like it was once a pretty nice shirt before it's gotten like kind of ripped apart.
Hold
Gee.
up. Did you say he looks dapper and yet the sleeves
no,
were
no.
torn?
Much
Less
Oh,
less
much
dapper.
less. Okay.
You went from soiree vampire to someone who looks like he just walked in after getting into a bar fight.
Fair enough.
I put on as much of a charming and disarming smile as I can, and I welcome in.
Yeah, he's wearing a pair of jeans that are like torn up and just like has multiple rips and tears all across it. Hands in his pockets as he just kind of strolls in. Sup, bitches?
Oh, that's a different image than what you than what I was thinking you started with. They The way you mentioned they were cautious about how they were walking in initially made me think they were timid.
Oh,
Never
no.
mind. Never
No.
mind. Completely different aura.
No, this guy's like just like walking in and just owning it.
But you said he was radiating a
Oh no, he's radiating an aura that makes you feel oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Oh, okay. I got that backwards.
No, he's giving off the aura of I don't want to die. Please don't kill me. Oh God, please don't kill me. I am a good boy.
This is the I'm in danger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one feeling like I'm in danger from his presence. Not
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes, it's definitely roguish.
So, this is an enforcer.
You think it's a vampire?
So, what are you, and who are you?
You said that?
I take half a step back behind
Yes.
Michael. Let him be the first one to take whatever hits come our way.
He looks at you, Michael, before he just kind of stands up even taller, this massive cocky smile on his face. I am the one and only, the bringer of fear, the monster that haunts the dark. I am the
Michael
greatest
yawns.
beast. Hey, I'm trying to do a bit here. You know?
Is that what he says?
Yes, that's seriously what he does. Like, his whole demeanor just goes away. He just kind of looks at you. It's like, really? Really?
Do you have any idea how many times I have heard this kind of spiel before? It gets old after the second.
It's kind of a thing, though, here for us. I mean, it's sort of a thing we have to do.
Okay, very well. Carry on. Carry on.
Thank you. I am the great beast, the haunter of dreams and nightmares, the bringer of terror. All shall know me and despair. So I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you all. How are you guys doing?
And at this moment, Maddie just cracks up entirely and is practically on the floor. I'm sorry.
I am
I'm sorry.
Michael.
That was a great intro.
I do try.
I am Maddie Marcone. Pleasure to meet you.
And I am Perry. Same.
So what the fuck am I doing here? As he just kind of walks over, casually just flops into his chair with his feet up on one of the armrests and his back against the other one as he just kind of lays back there.
Domino thought we might be helpful to each other.
Ah, that sons of bitches. That explains so much. So, I take it then he wanted me to talk to you bitches then?
That would seem to be the case.
Joy. Oh, anyway. Other than the fact that one of you introduced and interrupted my spiel, like I said,
For
I
the
have a lot of
record, my mother was human. It was my father that was the werewolf.
bow chicka bow bow. I didn't ask about the sex life, I'm just saying.
You called me a son of a bitch.
I refer to everyone that way until they prove otherwise. So, let's see. It's nice to meet you all. You guys might know me as the Nemean Lion, the Hydra, Smog.
Is he an actor? Like a voice actor?
No.
No,
Hasn't Michael met this guy before?
you haven't met this guy before.
You met
Not-
a dragon,
Yeah.
not
You met
this
a
dragon.
It's
dragon.
how you worded that.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
No, he is a dragon. Or something along those lines.
I'm a
Uh,
beast.
I believe there's a full screen version where.
I am a
And he looks like a human
personification-
right now.
Yes, he looks like a human right now.
Is it on full screen?
I'm a personification of mortal terror and fear, and I teach mortals lessons. It's
So-
a fun job.
Sounds like it. So how do you know Domino? Just out of curiosity here.
Ran into him once and ended up making a deal because of a hero that was on my back. It's why I can take multiple different monster forms when normally we only get stuck with one.
Hmm.
But I helped him with some of his human problems at the time, so it worked out.
Alright.
Yeah, I keep track of the monsters here in Empty Spring. The beasts are always trying to prowl around. There's a lot of fear here in this city. And that's, well, attractive to us. So there's quite a few of us here to deal with things, especially with pompous idiots who think they know better than everyone else. We get a lot of those here, and, well, trust me, it's real damn fun to knock them down a peg or two.
It is fun to knock someone off their high horse, isn't it?
That's what we exist for, literally. He just gives a very, very, almost cruel smile.
Oh. Sounds
No.
like you would be a very useful ally.
Depends. What do you got to even offer me?
You mean aside from the fact that we are werewolves and invoke our own version of fear?
Oh,
Your fear ain't like my fear. At this point, when he says that, his demeanor really changes. Like, he actually becomes very serious when he says that.
Think of his fear as more of an aura, while ours is a pinpoint.
We're meant to teach people lessons. We're meant to bring fear and terror to people, communities, whole areas and regions sometimes. We're meant to teach you mortals about stuff. To make sure you don't fucking do it. Even though half the time it feels like nowadays you just ignore it and do it anyway.
It's the adventure syndrome. Oh boy, look, something needs done over here. I'm gonna do it.
Sometimes humans can be stupid.
You know what I really enjoy doing? Watching YouTube and watching all those mortals play stupid games and get really stupid prizes.
Oh, what you really should do is go watch TikTok. That's where the real idiots are.
Most of them don't usually survive more than a year.
You hope not, anyways.
Well, yes, but, it's still far more entertaining. At least if you want a good laugh at idiocy.
I feel like I can't get away from idiotic mortals no matter where I go or what I do. Seriously. Who the hell thought it was a good idea to move a giant plasma screen TV across a railing and then get punched in the dick by a little kid?
And then there's all the supernatural happenings going on right now. Like that one guy named Blake, who has the supernatural spear.
What?
He was poking around one of these spots, looking for other supernatural weapons, posing as a cleaner. Blake Lionel is his name. And he's supposed to be trying to build a utopia for all supernaturals.
Haven't really heard of him.
You remember that, right, Michael?
Yes, and his spear that can literally just ensure that we die with a single prick.
That sounds dangerous to be in anyone's hands. I don't think I was there for that.
Actually, that was the mage game.
The spear holder was when we were going to see Nopa.
Yep, you did meet him once.
Oh, it's the same one?
Mm-hmm.
I was unaware.
Blake is actually the leader of them. Remember the one who was in lion armor that nuked the site to open it up for them to get into? In the vision you saw?
Yeah. That was
That
Blake.
was him. Exactly. That was Blake.
Yeah, I got confused between the mage and the werewolf, but I didn't realize that it was the same, that we have met that Blake guy.
When we were going to, hey, Nopa, nice to meet you. The Matisse with the bad leg. That's when we ran into him being the cleaner of the house.
Yep, and that's when you started questioning everything. And you were able to find out things about him.
And so the dragon wanting something for his board, probably.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this kingdom for supernaturals or anything, and honestly, it just kind of sounds a little bit boring to me.
I mean, to be fair, how often do you actually get out of your labyrinth or cave or wherever it is you hole up nowadays?
Every day.
Yeah,
Michael just raises a brow.
I do.
Brows raise higher.
I do some volunteer work every once in a while.
Ah, there it is.
An earnest disciple.
Well, I like getting out of the house.
Oh no, that's fair. I'm just saying that there are a lot of things going on in the world that someone of your particular talents could be very useful with. Particularly to ensure that this world actually continues on. But I mean, if you just want to go out and do some random volunteer work and then go back home and watch YouTube all day, that's up to you. Perhaps if you did come out and help, there might be more heroes to entertain you again.
He lets out a hiss when you say the word hero.
Yes, I know. But let's face it, you had a purpose back then.
We still have a purpose.
After we play together.
Do you?
Yes, I still do my job.
Rather, does anyone even pay attention to your lessons nowadays?
Yes. Well, yes. Usually.
Michael is just letting that hang in the air. Usually.
We do. Sometimes people are idiots and, well, they just don't survive. He just shakes his head. Heroes nowadays are the ones who've been corrupted, not us.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I agree. They have definitely been corrupted. They really don't even exist anymore.
Oh, they do. They do. You just don't see them.
Not in the way that they used to.
They do. Again, you just don't get to see them. They're
Fair
something
enough.
of our problem.
Michael, did you want to deal with a hero? I'm sure he could direct you to one to take care of.
I mean,
We're
he
just
kind of
looking
pauses
to-
and considers.
We're looking to remove the corruption of all varieties.
Hmm. Well,
That's what I'm getting
at.
at.
Perhaps we do have something we can talk about then. He reaches into his pocket and just whips out a little business card and flicks it over to you, Michael.
Michael will return with his own card. We're working on taking down Pentex, which will definitely send waves through all of the corrupted in the world.
He nods slightly. Again, I don't really pay much attention to their bullshit. Not really my purview. Only what I've heard on like the grapevine and such.
Well, yes, it's not your area, but it does impact your area. Those same heroes that used to be noble and true have become corrupted by the same tactics that Pentex has been using to corrupt the rest of humanity. If you really look at it, it's more of it's kind of the butterfly effect. They are corrupting the entirety of the world. Which does, of course, impact yourself.
Whatever. Morokind's gonna keep going. But he looks at you, Michael. I would be interested in maybe getting a few issues taken care of possibly one day.
I would be happy to offer assistance.
No, not. Well, do you have anything else for me then before I head off?
Michael just looks at the others, saying, "No, I don't believe I do."
Same here.
I could always make the old joke of where is your horde? Uh-huh.
It's safe.
Of course it is. And I just give a big old toothy smile.
I'll just kind of glare at you a little bit before getting up and heading off.
What did you think about that character, Maddie?
The only way to stop chaos is to cause
What was that guy's name?
The one he gave you was Ryan, though you don't know if that's actually his real name or not.
But you do have a card.
There, I added him to my sheet. But carry on, Maddie.
I'm not sure whether to be intimidated or laugh at that person.
And so that you know, that is a real dragon.
I figured that out. And it's because they're a real dragon that I realize I probably shouldn't be laughing at them. But at the same time, the introduction there is absolutely cringeworthy. Oh my goodness.
You don't realize how old they are.
Oh. Freaking, I didn't even realize dragons were still around.
Well, as
I
he
hadn't-
said, it's not so much that they are dragons as they are beasts. They take many forms, one of which being a dragon. But basically, all of those old tales of heroes and such, you know, the Herculean tales and such, those were
Yeah.
all done by these beasts.
Also, so was The Hobbit.
Cerulean. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And the author was a hero. In order to spread the message, he wrote a book.
Mm.
Now good luck finding Sting.
I don't think I will be seeking out that blade.
Do you know that blade, though?
Sting? I'm afraid it's been a while since I've opened The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
That's the one that its special ability is that it glows
Yeah.
when certain enemies are nearby.
Oh, yes. Reveal my position to my enemy. That sounds so useful. Sorry. That was sarcasm. I apologize. That was unbecoming of me. Anyways,
It's a blade that's specifically made to kill those type of things.
right.
So,
Yeah.
when it's a glowing blade like that, your enemy sees it, knows right away what it is.
It's
And
also
runs.
meant to be as a warning because usually where you would fight these things is very deep underground, in dark, basically caverns where you can't see anyone.
Ah, makes sense.
It's not a god weapon, but it's useful in its own ways.
Yes.
Right.
They could see you down there. You could not see them. That just evens the playing field.
Yeah, the little.
When it glows, they already know you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, they either already know you're there, or they rolled a nat 1 on their perception check, in which case they wouldn't see the blade
Okay,
glowing
since you wrote
anyways.
info for me, I didn't.
Let's see. You gotta get a 1d5.
I rolled the
1d5.
last one, so who wants to roll the next?
Or we can just roll 1d6 and I'll just keep track of the number. Reroll.
Maybe. I think
But.
I went one.
3.
Alright, roll it again for me.
Again.
Reroll that one.
Here, I'll roll.
No, you're good. Roll it one more time.
That enough for you?
No, this is something specific for my chart I have.
Oh.
I love how I got every number except for 4 in that roll.
So 6. 6 is the next roll then.
Yeah, just roll 1d6.
There. It's a 6. Okay, still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm glaring at the numbers you rolled.
Okay.
Because of what it did on the chart.
Yeah, I included this more just because it's like, yeah, I have to do this for completionist's sake. I'm gonna make it real hard. You have to throw 3 exact numbers in a certain order in order to get it.
Oh no.
Which is this group.
And we got the 3 exact numbers in the exact order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
who walks through the door?
Hang on, I'm petting my cat right now because she wants pets, and I need the soothing love of my cat right now.
No.
Hello, baby. She is baby.
What? Is the soothing love of your boyfriend not enough for you?
You're
Too
the
far
one who
away.
started 2/3 of this. Oh, so now she's holding my hand.
Also, real quick, Jits, I saw your comment there. No, vampires do not stream. Werewolves are more likely to be streamers than vampires. Because you see, vampires, they tend to have a lot more decorum, a lot more professionalism. And YouTube is kind of more of a more professional place nowadays. Definitely leading more towards the businesses and such. Whereas werewolves would be more personable. Or, you know, wolfable, whatever.
Where
Just saying.
werewolves would tell you to like and subscribe.
Ow! Well, that hurts.
Be sure to follow and hit that bell for all updates.
Jingle, jingle.
Jingle, jingle. Hold up, somebody's at the door. Woof, woof, woof.
Ring ting-a-ling, ring ting-a-ling.
Ring ding a ding, ring ding a ding, ring a ding a ding a ding a ding ding, ring a ding a ding a ding a ding ding.
Completely out of season.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.
Anyways. Who
Yeah,
wants
there's
to
still a
board?
little bit of snow on the ground. It's fine.
Where are you that has snow?
Yeah, we have snow here.
The north.
Nebraska, we just got some snow yesterday.
Snow? What's snow? I live in a desert valley.
So,
A needle pulling thread.
La, no to follow so.
the door opens. And by the way, you guys can thank the donation goal for even giving this one as an option.
Okay.
And a man in a very nice suit comes in, pushing a tray of little snacks, drinks, all manner of different things on it. As Sir Alaric Bennett looks at all of you and smiles. So, how's everything going so far? I heard Domino threw you a bit to the wolves.
I think it's more that he threw the wolves at all of his friends. Or,
I wouldn't say Domino has many friends. That might be stretching it a little bit.
yeah, I was going to correct myself to people he torments.
Yes, that's a little bit more fair, perhaps.
Domino tormenting nonsense. But yes.
So, Ulrich, what are you?
Oh, for the.
What do you mean?
The thing?
Well, you're clearly a supernatural being of some variety, so what are you?
He just smiles. I am just an average, everyday club owner.
And you don't get to be an average everyday club holder by sharing all your secrets.
But I suppose you do want to know, don't you?
Oh, I'm just waiting. I mean, you just being a club owner definitely is not true. So I'm just waiting for.
No, he does own a club.
I'm just gonna
Yes, but he is not
maybe-
just that. It takes some serious power to keep the werewolves and vampires and all of the other the beasts and all of the other manner of creatures roaming the dark from attacking each other in this establishment. The only way he could do that is if he were far more powerful than the rest of us combined, because generally that's the only way to keep people in line is with fear.
He just smiles. It's more in the entire city. It's much better here than it is in most of the rest of the world. As he walks over and begins to hand out little drinks for each of you.
Oh,
And it is
thank
your
you.
favorite drink, along with little snacks to go
Oh.
with it.
Oh, you remembered what I requested last time. Oh, thank you.
Ah, fresh spring water. Actually,
Also, a cat peeks their head out of the cart and meows.
Oh, it's cute.
Oh, and you brought us dinner
How
too.
long would it take you to?
Oh, come on, don't be like that, Michael.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yeah, no. Little Sunbeam is a good little kitty. You see it. You see it.
He's just precious.
Sunbeam is a very good kitty. Yes, he is. He is a sweet, adorable little cinnamon roll. Yes, he is. As he's petting the cat, who is purring and looking absolutely adorable.
Looking werewolf chat.
I'm going to look. Look.
For those on stream right now, it's the Monster Hunter cats cooking.
The Palico, I think they were called.
I haven't played Monster Hunter, so I don't know.
Yes, it is the Palicos.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the ones up in the canteen area in Monster Hunter World. That's a different canteen. Anyways.
So he walks over and sits down in a chair, which looks much more plush and comfortable than it did before. And he just smiles at Michael.
Oof.
Indeed, it does take a little bit of know-how and power in order to keep everything running ship-shape, so to speak. Otherwise, you see people getting uppity and trying to cause problems. He just smiles, though, at Michael. Do you really want to know what I am, though?
Bets on Jin.
I would not have asked if I was not curious.
He seems to consider that. No, I am not a djinn.
Darn. Alright.
He looks it over at you, Perry. Would you like to hazard a guess?
No, thank you.
That takes out some of the fun, though.
All right. I'll make a guess. A demon.
I am not
Maybe
a
a demon lord.
I am not a demon.
Yes. They added that because
God?
it used to be really annoying. Also,
I wish.
can actually bounce off
Demigod?
tablets now, and it's
Nope.
I mean, there are several flavors of God depending on what mythologies you
Capital G.
yeah, capital G God. That's don't mess with that. But it's ranging from kami to
Tommy work for Gaia. Entirely different
true.
sort of thing than what you mortals usually think.
Yeah.
Great machine spirit, whatever you want to call it.
Touchstone. He's been sleeping for a while now.
A Touchthon?
Yeah. An ancient being. He lives over in the spirit world right now. He's been asleep for the last couple 10,000 years, give or take, for a very, very long time. Though I do believe some of you mortals did rediscover him, last I heard, through some of my sources. But no, to go back to the little guesses, though, I wish I was the capital G god. But I am not a demon, no.
But what are you?
I was once a lot of things. Isn't that right, Joe Sunbeam? As he pets the cats. He seems to kind of consider what he wants to say, though.
What was that noise?
That was me taking a screenshot. I'm testing something real quick.
Oh, okay.
It's a Minecraft sound effect.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying that to see the reaction.
He pauses and considers before looking at you all. I want your oath that what I'm about to say does not leave this room. I try very hard to keep what I am to the bare minimum of those who know.
Solemnly swear I will not say a word.
I swear not to
when I
speak
first
of it
played
to
I had
anyone
a full
either.
on vanilla egg.
Same.
Wait for
He'll smile. Hello, everyone. I suppose then I should introduce you by my true name, then. My name is Lucifer Morningstar. It's a delight to make your acquaintance.
Maddie just about chokes. Wait. You mean the fallen angel?
Yes.
I'm not sure anyone would believe me even if I did say.
He just smiles as he pets his cat. I know. Isn't that right, you Sunbeam? And that's just the way I like it. He smiles at you, Maddie. You have questions? Feel free to ask.
I mean, yeah. Top of which is what is the fallen angel doing running a bar in this town?
Entertaining himself.
More or less trying to make sure that the world doesn't end. I was more passing through here about a decade ago when there was some major issues, the worm trying to break through into our realm to end everything, and, well, I offered a little bit of assistance to some local werewolves and decided to stick around when I realized that the veil between our world and the spirit world was damaged. And since then, I've been helping out from time to time with various organizations, factions, and would-be heroes, trying to make sure that this wonderful little world doesn't end in a fiery conflagration of death, suffering, and absolute agony. And I may or start of a club eventually, too.
Well, it is reassuring to know that you are on the side of the world not ending.
I have always been on the side of humanity.
Now, don't we feel silly for guessing that you're God?
Yeah. Whew.
Though I have no idea where the asshole went, to be honest.
Stepping away for a second.
Okay.
I already knew this because Kerr is very bad at keeping secrets.
You're also the boyfriend. Boyfriend gets special spoiler privileges.
Traffic is
I mean,
fucking you up.
I've heard of some crazies with a prophet down in Utah, but who knows?
And back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. But could we
Phoebe was
get
just trying to get
Toshime?
in the ice cream.
We should.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
nice
here.
to see you back, but I'd like to have Toshime here, you know?
Yes, Phoebe. We got ice cream. You can't have it.
A kitty wants ice cream.
I'm just
Little Phoebe dog wants it.
unlocking what I can.
And
The
little
doggo
Phoebe-
wants the ice cream. Ugh.
And little dogs like her
get
can't
my
have chocolate.
RCOA. Oh boy.
Meow, chicka, meow, meow.
Ice cream. That is one of the nice things about birthdays. Anyways,
I feel you have more questions though, so go ahead, ask them.
I mean, does this mean that how much of the Bible is true? That's a question. Like,
What specifically?
I suppose there's been a few different versions of it from translations, but like Old Testament, New Testament, did Jesus actually come to Earth and and do the miracles that he did? It's the Holy Trinity. Are they separate beings or one? There are so many arguments and debates about this sort of stuff.
Oh, God's mostly ditched this world. He has for like the last 2,000 years, give or take.
Ah.
Yes, Jesus was real. Nobody can agree on what species he or what race he was. Everyone likes to claim that he was one of theirs. Like werewolves say he's a werewolf, vampires say he was a vampire, so on and so forth. I was dealing with a few issues at the time, so I never really paid much attention to it at the time. Yes, the rebellion did happen, though not for the reasons that you thought it did.
Well, then what were the reasons?
He seems to consider that for a second, and for a moment he looks almost melancholic. Because we loved you all too much. I remember...
Surprised Pikachu face?
I remember long, long ago, back when the Garden of Eden was still around. It was a very different time to what the world is now. And we had a vision. Our greatest seer foresaw a great darkness sweeping in and devouring the world and humanity. And we debated for decades about what to do, what we should do. For the Creator had charged us with 2 vows. The first is that we must never reveal ourselves to you, humanity. The second was that we were to love you more than we loved him. And we discussed, we debated, we attempted to figure out what should we do. There is this great darkness coming, and we can clearly foresee it. And what do we do to prepare for it? What do we do to protect you and this world? And
Real quick.
of course, yep, go ahead.
Just want to let you guys know that I'm working with an artist right now on something, so I'm getting some screenshots, so you'll hear that noise a few more times. I apologize. Just need to keep him working on this because he needs to get to something else, so. Carry on, though.
He kind of pauses, and of course we ask the Creator, why wouldn't we? The one who knew all, who could see all, who is all-powerful? Why would we not ask him about what we should do? If he had told us to wait, we would have waited until the stars themselves went out. But he didn't. He said nothing. he only gave us the cryptic words of, if you wish to see as I do, then you must become one with me. And 2 angels accepted that, and we never saw them again. But otherwise, he never answered our question about what we should do. We left it to us to decide what to do. And it was my decision that we should reveal ourselves to humanity, that we should teach them, that we should take them under our protection, and we should help them accomplish their potential and abilities. And so, me, some of my most trusted lieutenants, and a full half of the host revealed ourselves to humanity. And we gave them our love, and we told them how much we cared for them. And we started to teach them. When God learned of this, he was less than pleased. And we refused to abandon humanity. It was perhaps hubris, but at the time, that's the only way we saw as protecting you. Now, I can feel like I can safely say that it was that choice that is what caused all of this. So for that, I am sorry. It is because of us that you lost paradise.
Paradise
done
was
with
there
those.
way before our time.
Done with those screenshots. Sorry.
This is why I went to right for that.
Well, that definitely contradicts the propaganda that's been shared for all these years.
Yeah. That is sombering. And a choice without knowing your options? Is that really a choice at all?
As I said, we would have waited. If he had just told us, we would have waited. But my fear for humanity, for all of you, for what the future could hold, it got the better of me. And so I thought I knew better. It is perhaps one of the reasons that I do what I do.
Well, from what I can see and can tell, you've been trying to set things right since. So, thank you.
He gives a small shrug. It's the least that I could try to do. Is there any other questions that you may have?
So, what are your plans then going forward?
They respawn, so I'm fine.
To try to protect the world, to
Same
keep
as,
humanity safe.
same as it ever was.
I have my own task of keeping my old generals from escaping or waking up. Many of my former followers despise humanity and see you all as nothing but toys or weapons to use.
Mm,
I've spent much of my time doing my best to keep them bound and asleep, to be unable to do and torment any living creature, I suppose I should say.
right. So they blame humanity and for everything that happened then.
That and it's their own madness and just hatred as well. Belial, Abaddon, Dagon, Asmodeus, and Azrael.
If at any point we're able to help, let us know. But
You know, I will keep that in mind. Thank you. Though, I suppose Domino has been causing a little bit of issues, and I should rectify that before it causes a snap in the timeline. You have anything you want to ask me before I send you back?
Send us back. Where are we?
I think that is the clay rock they saw.
You're in my club right now.
Oh, you'd send us back to the house, right?
Yes. Yes.
right.
Here's two.
Well, I suppose we can always just ask you another time.
You can have the closer one.
Unless you're planning to pack up shop and leave.
Oh no, I'm still going to be here.
And I don't have any other questions at this time. Thank you for
Alright.
indulging us.
Well, you heroes tend to find out about who I am eventually.
That could have just been an aphid. I didn't hear it.
Wait, are we heroes?
You're trying to keep the world safe, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
That does, I suppose, qualify us as heroes.
It used to, so I think.
Weird.
I have nothing further to ask at this time, but I appreciate your honesty.
You'll nod. Well then, I wish you luck.
Oh, we're just
And-
identifying the ghost and leaving. Somebody, the other team will come in to actually remove the ghost.
As you guys vanish and appear back at the house as you go through the door. End of session. As I want to get food and I am starving.
Understandable.
Go on and
And we'll
Now
start
that
gathering
we've-
for Exalted.
And now that you've got your intro to World of Darkness, it's time to switch to Demon the Fallen.
I love Demon. I love Demon so much.
Too bad it's not more common than some of the other ones.
So, fun fact, in the parallels between Exalted and World of Darkness, the character that is Lucifer is the Unconquered Sun.
Jits, yes, there is a demon game. Literally, the World of Darkness has like dozens of littler systems all under that umbrella. You got the more common ones, you know, the Vampire the Masquerade, the Werewolf the Apocalypse, but you've also got Changeling, Hunter, Mage, Demon
the
Angel. Yeah, they have different titles after them and such, so there's even more to it than just what I'm
Mummy.
listing, but there's Mummy, there's Wraith.
Wraith is the one game that you're never allowed to play unless you have a really, really good trusted group.
Yeah.
And if I recall right, technically they're compatible with each other.
Yes, they are.
I don't know if they're balanced with each other, but technically compatible.
Let's see. We have Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Hunter the Reckoning, Mage the Ascension. You have Vampire the Requiem, Wraith the Oblivion, Mage the Awakening, Mage the Ascension, Vampire the Dark Ages, Werewolf the Forsaken, Demon the Fallen, Orpheus, Kindred of the East, Changeling the Lost, Changeling the Dreaming, Mummy the Curse. That's just naming some of them from both Old World and New World of Darkness. There is a lot of World of Darkness games. Lot of them.
Then there's the
Yes,
smaller
urban
ones
fantasy
like
galore.
Slasher or Immortals, which is mostly human.
And then you have another game line that White Wolf makes called Aberrant, which is basically Aberrant is the original version of My Hero Academia. Legitimately, Aberrant is My Hero Academia. I kid you not, it literally is. You play as superheroes or supervillains.
Right to high school.
Yeah, I mean, that's very easy to do. I've played Aberrant a couple of times. It's really, really fun. And then you have the best game of all times, which is Exalted.
Well, Exalted, I would not include that with the rest of them. It's kind of adjacent, but also its own thing.
It uses the same system.
A very similar one. But I would not necessarily, I don't think that I would consider it compatible with, you know, World of Darkness.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jits? Have you seen Supernatural? That's Hunter. Why is Exalted weird, Jits?
It's just super powerful power level.
Weird power level and stake.
Exalted is nothing more than just taking your standard system and ramping the power up to 11.
I would put it higher.
Well, that depends if you're doing a mortal game.
Except that the power level system only goes up to 10, Kerr.
Fair.
No, there's more than 10. There's NA.
No, so. So when it comes to Exalted, like for the power level,
I have one right here.
the Exalted were literally created to basically kill the equivalent of what we would call Cthulhu. They were created to basically fight and beat the Elder Gods. And they did it.
When you
We-
beat an elder god, doesn't it just go back to sleep?
No, they figured out how to actually kill them. They were able to kill things that weren't supposed to be able to die.
You gave them the idea of their own death, which created a reality.
So the reason they went crazy, Jits, is because of a curse from said elder gods when they died. They put a curse on all of the Exalted without them knowing it. So the insanity that they experience is directly from that curse. Before that happened, the Exalted were just normal. They were just extremely, extremely powerful. That curse was basically the big FU to them from the Primordials before they lost the war. And technically, I believe like only 2 people are actually aware of it, that it actually exists, other than the ones who did it. Actually, the God of Exaltation is one of the 2 people who actually is aware of it. The reason he hasn't told anyone is he doesn't want to get into trouble and he's trying to fix it himself.
And the Maiden of Secrets.
Yep, she's aware of it as well. Now, the
But
issue
she
is-
knows every secret.
Yeah, the issue is it's a direct little flaw that was put into the Exaltation by them. It manifests as a tiny, tiny little black spot on the Exaltation. And eventually it just feeds on the person. And as they get more powerful, they can start doing worse and worse things when they go into the limit break and the curse takes over. But since no one knows about the curse, everyone just thinks that it's basically a curse. Or
They
it's
don't
just
think of
basically
it as
them going
curse.
crazy. Yeah, I got mixed up there.
But either way, we're gonna go ahead and do some Nitro stream racing while we wait for Exalted to get started. And Kerr gets his food and stuff.
Yep, I'll be
So,
back.
thank you everybody for joining us today for Howls of the Deathsinger World of Darkness Werewolf. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that helps make sure that these streams continue to happen. I cannot do this without you all coming by, hanging out, and supporting the channel, whether financially or just with your time. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It is one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, subscribing to our YouTube, picking up some merchandise over at zgfgaming.store, or by using our Humble Bundle partner link. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Adieu.
Bye.
Bye.